And then because I became close to him that way, he would kind of, I tell you one time that I really shocked him, and I probably cost this guy his job, okay? Louis Tillett, you know the Dusty finish?
Yes.
That's Louis Tillet's finish, okay? So at the end of the year, they had, you know, the year in review. And most of it was Briscoe against somebody, you know?
Yeah.
And there was, if not the greatest babyface, one of the top 10, right? Jack Briscoe. I'm watching the thing, and every finish is a Dusty finish. So Eddie comes out beaming because, you know, it's like anything else. If you watch it enough.
Yeah.
And he didn't watch it, I found out, see? So he was going to go through me and see what my reaction was. Then he was going to look at it. And he said, what did you think? And I said, it sucked. It was the first time I ever said anything like that to him. He said, what do you mean? I said, every finish was exactly alike. Well, he went down, he went to got Dave Togie, made him go take the tape back then and put it in. He watched it. Louis was relegated to the second towns, and that's how Dusty got his start in Dusty and Watts. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so that was, when that happened, then he would let me sit in, and Dusty too, when Dusty came in, but when he found some of that, he kind of thought that was on the same wavelength with him, like the Funks or the Briscoes, you know, you kind of, he'd say, hey, sit in here and tell me what you think about this. Well, I'll tell you a funny story about Eddie. I'm happy to be driving to Orlando with him, and Eddie said, well, I got this finish. He said, and this is what they're going to do in the main event. And he said, but I'm not going to say anything. He said, just come in with me. And this was a big thing going into the heel dressing room, you know?
Yeah.
You know, even though in Orlando it would be like coming in here, no one's going to see us, but we didn't do that. So I sat down, I watched Eddie work. He said, boys, what are you going to do tonight? And they're all scratching their heads and, you know, figuring things out. Jimmy, in 15 minutes, they came up with the exact same finish Eddie had told me in the car. He just steered them that way, and they had no idea which way they were going either. There are only a few guys that, this is how smart he was. Terry Funk is going to work with Jack Briscoe in Miami. Now, when the Funks came in, 98% of the time, Eddie would go to wherever the Funks were wrestling.
Right.
So they were only coming in, Terry was only coming in from Miami because Jack was going to wrestle Dory at the end of the month. We'll say it was the first of the month, and at the end of the month he was going to wrestle Dory for the title. So Louis Tillett goes over, and Terry says, what do you want him to do? And he said, you don't mind putting him over in the middle, do you? Terry said, no, of course not. So the next day we got TV, and Eddie comes in and he said, hey, what did you do? What kind of out did you give Funk last night? And Louis said, oh, he said he'd lose in the middle of the ring. And Eddie said, I guess we won't see Terry for a while. So Louis calls Terry up, you know, make sure everything's okay. He said, when Dory comes in, we'd like you to work with Morocco. He said, I can't, my horse is sick.
Horse is sick.
You know, he did the horse is sick. And Eddie said, Louis, that isn't the way to get these guys to do what you want. He said, and with beating Terry,
they'll do what you want once
yeah,
to get out of there, and then they won't come back.
Yeah, 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 yeah.